So welcome to the fifth video in our B06 using Python packages course. Now we're going to look at file input. So this is reading in text files, CSV files, and other file types from our local directory into our PyCharm or the cluster server when we're writing Python code. So what we want to do first is use this tool called import OS. So this allows us to change directory and determine our current working directory. So that's usually where your script is, but you may want to double check that this is correct, particularly if you're trying to automate things, that can be useful. That can mean you can access files in other directories from your current one, which can be convenient when you're linking multiple data sets together. So one way to clarify what we're trying to do is to print out what your current working directory is. So you can do that using this special command called .format. And what we're using is this OS package. We're calling the getCWD, get current working directory command from that package here. And we're just formatting it to extract the first element from that there. So that's element 0. And we're just formatting it to extract that information. So that gives us our current working directory. Once we know that, then it's more easy to determine what we want to change our directory to. So chdir is change directory. And again, we're using the OS package to achieve that. So you have os.chdir and then our directory location, which you'll have to adjust. So what we want to do then is open a file in our current folder. And as you would guess, the open function can achieve that for us. So the format for this is that you might assign as a file handle. This is like a nickname for a file called file1. And we're assigning that as open this file we're going to read in. And we can have different options here. We can write to the file. So opening, closing, and in some ways are similar things. We can append, or we can just read. So we're actually interested in this option at the end here for this portion when we're reading files in. So you just want to read files in and maybe print it as a screen to check that we read it in correctly. We can adjust this portion on the file source location, but it's advisable to do this beforehand to check where you're working from. What we can do with the file one is simply print it out. So print out file one and print out its type. So it's the object type here is that it's a text IO wrapper object. So IO stands for input output, and it's just a simple object that we can read in and out. So that doesn't actually tell you anything. What we can do is apply the function read lines. So what we can do is you have read lines here, and we can print out the lines from the file, and that will print it out line by line. And what we should do at the end, notably, is close the file. So file1.close will close the file. So open the file here, we have to close it down here. One option around closing and opening files in tandem is to use the with option. So this opens a file temporarily, so you don't need to formally close it. So you combine with and open together as with open. So this is like one, a bit like a function, one kind of combined command with space open, and then we have open there, open our file name, so on and so on, as a nickname. So we then call nickname one in the subsequent lines to read the lines or whatever. So then we can add a while or for loop to go through those different lines. So an example of it is here. So you might open input2, which is in your example folders as a reader. So reader is the file handle we use. So we say print reader.read to read the whole file. If we want reader.readline, we get the number of lines that are present. So you might say while a line is not empty, print the line, and then the line gets assigned as the next line. So each time we print it through, that prints the previous line and then iterates onto the next line. So we print out each line as we go through using a while loop in this format. And a for loop has a similar structure where we're just iterating through all the lines that are present. So if we want to look further at CSV files, and there's more of this in this demonstration video, we just need to use the CSV package. So that allows us to more easily read a CSV file that might have this format where we have a bunch of different samples, and a bunch of sites and nucleotides associated with that. So the structure again is the same, that we have open input.csv as CSV file, which is just a nickname for it. We have a CSV reader, so that's a special function where we give it the file handle. We specify the delimiter, which could be comma, tab, and so on. And then we assign that as a new variable, CSV_reader. We set our line count to be 0, and we say for each element in CSV reader, print out the whole row. So row is just a variable, we call it here. So we're accessing stuff in our CSV file and printing out each row as specified here. And then there's more advanced things that we can do that we'll talk about in the demonstration videos later. So please see those demonstration videos for hands-on coding of this.